Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to HVAC Tool Review. Today we are talking about one of my favorite tools that I added to my truck, which is the M12 Milwaukie Inflator. If you're interested in picking one of these up, I'll have them linked down in the description below. This has been a great addition to the tool lineup. I'm glad to see that Milwaukie has finally added one. I know that there are some other tool manufacturers like Ryobi and Dewalt, both have one as well. But if you're already invested into one tool manufacturer with the chargers, the batteries, all that stuff, you don't want to pick up one random odd tool that you need and then have to keep a whole set of batteries and chargers for that. So I'm glad to see Milwaukie finally did that. When you need this thing, it gets you out of a pinch. I mean, whether you're throwing this on the truck, you get a flat, you're just trying to get home from work, or you're on your way to a service call, you get a flat. This thing can pump up your truck tires. I mainly purchased this to keep on the truck for expansion tanks. It's a really small footprint. It's not heavy, doesn't break your back taking this thing up to the roof. If you're working in the commercial HVAC world, you know what I'm talking about as far as coming across an expansion tank. Now you've either got to run down to the truck to get a bunch of nitrogen or lug a pancake compressor up to the roof penthouse on top of a high-rise building. So something like this, one, it saves space in your truck. You can get rid of that compressor. There's no reason to keep a pancake compressor on your truck. I've never had anything that I've run across that I haven't been able to use this when I needed it. This thing isn't the most speedy tool. It's not an air compressor, it's an inflator, but it gets the job done. So I mean, if you come across an expansion tank bladder that's low, you need to pump it up, set this thing on there, you hook it up. It's got the included brass threaded Schrader connection. It'll display a readout of the temperature or of the pressure, whatever you're hooking up to. It'll read the real-time pressure, what's in that vessel, and then you're able to set this up to the desired pressure all the way up to 120 psi. Having that ability to actually read out pressures as well as fill them up with this tool has been invaluable. They claim that the accuracy is within plus or minus 3%. I've compared it to the old analog gauges and even some of the digital tire pressure gauges I was keeping on me before, and this thing is always read right on. So I have no concerns with the accuracy of the readout. You're able to set that to its desired pressure, just hit go and walk away. Once it hits that pressure, there's an auto shut off, so there's no worry that you're going to over pressurize or overfill something. So for me, this was a no-brainer. I mean, these tools are less than $100, and I mean, the compact size that it takes, it can take these extended batteries as well as the smaller batteries. I pretty much always run one of these in there, just because, like I said, it can suck down some battery life, but I've never had it not been able to get the job done for me. I've used it a couple times on the work truck tire. Get in the truck, you got that tire pressure monitoring light on, pull this out of the back of the truck, hook it up, and pump those tires up. I throw this on the truck with me. We're heading out on the weekends to go camping, fishing, hiking, whatever. It's just nice peace of mind to know that you've got the ability. I'm not running onboard air on any of my rigs. So just having this with the ability to air up those tires if I did get a leak, not be stranded out there or have to swap out to my spare. It's well worth it for me. If you're in the market for a little inflator, like I was saying, there are a few options out there. Milwaukie Tools seems to continue to innovate and come out with desirable tools for a service technician. So one thing to keep in mind about this guy is that it does have a 50% duty cycle. So you can run it for a maximum of 10 minutes, but then you're going to need to let this thing cool down for 10 minutes as well before you can use it again. It does have a thermal protection, so if it does start to get too hot and overheat because of reduced airflow, stuff like that, it'll display that on this large backlit display. And then reading the manual, it also says that it will display that if the battery is too cold, you'll get that same alert. So that's something to keep in mind. One thing that's really great about it as well is the anti-vibration absorber that was built into this unit. A lot of inflators that you'll use will end up rattling all around, and you'd never want to use it on like a work table like this. But this one, you can see, it doesn't move at all. So that is a great handy little feature. You're not sitting it on your workbench pumping up a soccer ball or whatever, and this thing's rattling away and rocks right off the table or knocks everything else that you've got going on. That is one feature that they thought ahead and integrated into this. Overall, this little tool has been great. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it to anyone. I would buy this thing again in a heartbeat. But the only things that I wish that they would have maybe done a little bit differently or integrated into the tool are the ability to run off of a 12-volt power source, such as like a car cigarette lighter, or maybe the ability to have a 110 AC down to a 12-volt DC that plugs in the back somewhere that you could run this right off of an outlet if need be, if your battery did die. I'm assuming they probably didn't do that because of the duty cycle on it, but it would be a nice feature to have if you were up in the mountains and ran your batteries dead. So other than that, this thing's been great, and it's always gonna have a spot on my truck. Well, there you have it, guys. There is the Milwuakee Inflator. If you're interested in picking one of these up, I'll have them linked down in the description below. If you're using a different inflator and there's something else that maybe I didn't mention that's working well for you, let me know. I'll also link the Dewalt, their 20 volt, and the Ryobi that I've heard good things about as well. And if you have another one that you'd recommend, feel free to leave a comment below. Let us all know what you're using, what works out for you. Anyways, thanks for checking out the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.